Hello there! Why is your program returning value error too many values to unpack? If you are watching this video, chances are that you are writing a Python program. However, when you try to execute your program, you are receiving a weird error that said value error too many values to unpack. And you are probably wondering what this error means. In this video, I will explain you why your program is returning this error and how you can fix it. So without further ado, let's get started. I will start by explaining what the value error too many values to unpack means. Next, we will see examples of code snippets that return this error and how to fix it. One of the examples will involve using loops, and another example using the split method. And last, we will see another error which is different but also to do with unpacking. The error not enough values to unpack. Alright, let's start with the error itself. Value error too many values to unpack. To understand this problem, first we need to understand what unpacking is. Unpacking is a powerful Python feature that allows you to assign several values to several variables at once. For example, the following statement, name1, name2, and then equal Marta and Olivia. When executing this statement, Python will use unpacking and assign the first value to the first variable and then the second value to the second variable. Every value on the right is assigned to a variable on the left. The problem comes when there is more values than variables. For instance, the following statement, name1, name2, Marta, Olivia, and Robert. If you execute this code, then Python will return our error, value error too many values to unpack. The problem is we have 3 values on the right and only 2 variables on the left. So the value Robert is left without a variable. This issue can be fixed just by removing the last value. Perfect, so now that we understand the error, let's see this in action with a few examples. Let's see the following code snippet. We have a dictionary here with 2 keys, name and age. And for each key, there is a value. And then we will print the key and the value. So let's execute this, and there we get the unpacking error. So the problem here is that when using a dictionary in a loop, by default, the dictionary returns a list containing the keys. In this case, name and age. So the loop will pick the first key and then try to assign it to 2 variables. One way to solve this problem is calling the items method. This method will return a list of tuples, each tuple containing the key and the value. So now we have 2 values for 2 variables. So let's execute this. Perfect, the code works and our dictionary was printed in the console. Another way to solve this problem is removing one of the variables. This way, the key will be assigned to the variable key. And now, if we want to access the value of the dictionary, we can do so by using the get method. Alright, let's execute this. Perfect, that also works. Remember, the trick is making sure that the number of values on the right of the assignment match the number of variables on the left. Let's see another example of a code snippet which returns this error. In this case, we will use the split method. So we have the following statement, there is a test that we want to split by the dot sign and then assign the result. And yes, you guessed it, if we run this code, boom, we get too many values to unpack. The problem is that if we split this test, we will get a list of 3 values, but there are only 2 variables. 2 ways to solve this problem. You can add another variable on the left, so the values and the variables match. So let's run this. Perfect, that works. Or you can avoid unpacking and assign the list to a single variable. This variable will contain the list with all the values. So let's run this. Perfect, it also works. Let's see another code snippet. This is a very simple piece of code where we request 2 numbers to the user and then print the numbers. So let's execute it, and I will enter 2 numbers, and boom, here we have our error. Too many values to unpack. The problem here is that the input method will receive whatever the user enters and save it in one single string. Therefore, our code is trying to unpack one value in 2 variables. So, how do you fix this problem? In this case, the best approach is avoiding unpacking and assign the output of the input method to one variable, and then use a split. And then assign every number to a different variable, and then print them. So let's run this and make sure it works. Perfect, it all works fine. Perfect, all working fine. Another way to solve this problem is calling a split right after the input. This way the unpacking will work because the split method will return 2 values, and then you can assign them to 2 variables. Alright, so we have seen what happens when you have too many values and not enough variables. But what if it's the other way around? You have more variables than values. For example, this statement. In this case, Python will return a slightly different error. Not enough values to unpack. As you can imagine, the underlying problem is the same. The values and the variables in the assignment are not matching. So we reach the end of this video, where we have seen how to interpret the error too many values to unpack, and we have also seen a few examples that return this error and how you can fix it. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.